G'day guys, welcome to the channel Outer Range 4x4. I'm Dane, your presenter. I'll be uploading some videos about camping, four-wheel driving. I can't say cooking because I'm not that good at that. A little bit of 12-volt accessories and whatnot, just a little bit of everyday life of owning a money pit four-wheel drive. So for the first video I thought I might come up to the Watergans, which is just around the corner from home, practically the backyard. And I might give you guys a little tour of the car that I've got that I'll be using in the videos and all the stuff I've done with it. So before we start on the car, I'm just going to say most of it's a little bit of a budget build, other than the actual car and the rear end of it when we get to it, because everything is either something that I already had on my old car, which if you follow me on Instagram and have for a while, you would know that I used to have a 2005 120 Prado, and most of the stuff on here that I'll go through, I already had in that car because there's no point buying it again. I would have got much for selling it on the car. So we'll start off with the front end. I've got XTM spotlights, the Nebula 220s, so they're the 9-inch spotlights. Come with the plastic covers. I got them $50 on clearance down from 200 something. As I said, a little bit of a budget build. Custom plates so that obviously if you see the car, you're going to know it's me. Bit hard to avoid. Over here, action camera mount, so I can mount some action cameras to it. I can probably 3D print some other mounts and stuff. Over here we got the GME medium duty aerial, so that's got 6.6 decibel. It's 980mm height, I think. And then I've got the 2.1 decibel to swap out with it as well, which is sitting in one of the drawers in the canopy. And I've also got underneath, I have to move the camera to show you. So underneath every four-wheel drive, you've got to have your underbody protection. Obviously the ones that come with the cars are generally pretty good, but I think that the ones that came with the Ford Rangers were only a steel 1mm thick, so they're not the thickest, but they'll do the job if you hit the odd stick. So I've opted for the custom off-road 3mm stainless steel backplate. I've only got the front and sump. I didn't get the transmission one as well because I didn't quite think I'd need it with the four-wheel driving I do. It's only a little bit of light stuff, but it gives me the protection I need and it looks bloody nice. Right, now we'll talk the driver's side of the car. So every four-wheel drive really should run a snorkel if you're going to go on dusty roads like this. Whether you go through bog holes or not, doesn't matter. Oh, there's a bog hole behind me over there. I can tell you I'm not going over there. The snorkel is generally just to kind of get some cleaner air in your car, because normally the air intake from cars are up in your wheel wells. So wheels flick up dust, the air intake takes the dust, clogs up your air filters, there you go, you need a new one. Bang, get a snorkel, problem solved, mostly. The Ranger is an XLT model, so it's got chrome mirrors and comes with the side steps, a little bit of chrome on them as well. But I've actually repainted my side steps, so I've got Raptor coat on them because they were fading in the sun and stuff. The snorkel's doing the same. I'm yet to actually paint the snorkel. So I've done some just Raptor 1K paint, the cheapest one you get from them. And that's actually held up well in the sun over the past month I've had it and hasn't scratched up, cleans off easily. So that's, you know, if you're looking for something to redo some paint, there you go. Up here we've got the June four-wheel drive shower tent with the roof and stuff on it. I had this on the Prado. I only just put it on last weekend because I had to get some rhino racks on the roof because the car had nothing on when I bought it. They're a great little thing if you go touring and stuff, and you know, up here where there's no showers or anything, but I can't say I actually use it too much. It just looks nicer being on there, so that's the other thing. And on the car, I don't know if you can see the back one, but we're also running 33-inch all-terrains, Maxxis Razors ATs, and then we've also got some 17-inch alloy Dirty Life wheels. These ones aren't real beadlocks because they're not legal, but yeah, well that's just the wheels that came on the car. I'd actually don't mind them, but yeah. We've also got some aftermarket flares here. They're not actually bolt-on, they're all screwed in, but yeah, kind of came on the car when I got it, but yeah, it helps having some wider tyres on it. Couldn't quite do a stationary mount for this part. However, on the roof, we're running two Rhino Rack rails, and I've opted for the actual track rails for off-road use instead of the gutter mount ones because, well, these are all riveted into the roof, a little bit more sturdy. I've got our Maxtrax Mark IIs on some Maxtrax pins and Maxtrax brackets mounted to the rails. Obviously got the ensuite tent mounted. Then the other side we've just got the rubber so we can use it for whatever other purpose I want. And the rest of the roof on the canopy, I got my King's 270 freestanding awning mounted to the MITS alloy roof rack and awning brackets, which I already had on the Prado, so I've obviously just kept it again. And same with my 160 watt Ridge Rider solar panel. Works well keeping the 12 volt topped up during the day, so you don't have to drive, especially when I work from home some days, so I don't actually drive the car. But yeah, and then we've got the MITS alloy platform rack with the channels on them. Really handy roof rack, just cost quite a bit. Now, I was going on before about it being kind of a budget build for me. Once you get to the rear end, you kind of lose all hopes of that because It's got a MITS alloy tray and canopy on it, which when you work it out, I think it's about 26, 27 grand from new. This is all on when I bought the car. One of the main reasons I actually kind of bought the car, because I did want to swap from wagon to a ute, and I was kind of tossing up about what trays and canopies to put on. Saw this go up on Marketplace and kind of snagged it up. So it's got a Gen 1 tray, which from what the previous owner told me has been on since 2021, so it's only 2 years old. The difference between the Gen 1 and the Gen 2 tray, they're all obviously stainless steel. The Gen 2 comes with the trundle tray and it has the headboard water tank in it, as they come with the tray, and you can still get the 60-litre underbody tank as an option. But the Gen 1 tray, they're all optional. So I don't have a trundle tray and I don't have the headboard water tank. Trundle tray is not too much of an issue because I think it costs a little bit to get one put in, and same with the headboard water tank, but I can always actually get a bigger underbody water tank due to not having the trundle tray there and the spare tyre up here. I've got all the space under the tray, which I'll give you a shot under there. It's pretty empty. Obviously we've got the MITS alloy spare wheel holder on the back. We've got the shallow ladder, so that way I can climb up on the roof rack, throw the slag up. You know, it was easy to put the sole foam and the awnings on because I can just climb right up the back. In here, we've got our gas bottle bracket. It's a roller mount that I had on the Prado roof rack that I've now drilled into the back of the ladder, so that way I can put my gas bottle on the back. It's not an enclosed space, and it's also protected from behind, because as far as I know, MITS alloys don't do a gas bottle bracket. They do jerry can brackets, so I can get one and slap it here. But then I won't be able to get the gas bottle in and out, so I'm not going to do that. Obviously, standard LED tail lights that come with the trays. I've got the standard Ford tow bar. Nothing special about that. I'm probably not going to tow for a long time anyway, so it doesn't really need to be used. Yeah, and we'll get into the canopy soon. So as I said, the canopy underneath is quite empty. When it adjusts, so you can see up here, the trundle tray should be there. You can actually see these right here are the tracks that it would mount to, and obviously that's where the spare tyre goes. But since I've got the spare tyre up on the canopy and no trundle drawer, I have all of this space to actually mount a water tank and stuff, so I'll probably end up doing that. So, passenger side of the vehicle, obviously this is where my King's 270 awning is. For the price of the awning, you can go on about King's this, King's that. I do agree sometimes. However, $400 awning at the lowest point it goes, it's actually worth it. Keep freestanding to throw in your car. If you got your first floor driving, you want a freestanding. So I put it on the Prado because I had the wagon door at the back. Perfect for it. Does its job on here, but as I said, it was something that I already had, so there's no point buying another one. So this side of the canopy, I've got down in the toolbox down here, I have my compressor mounted. It's not actually mounted in, I just hold it in there, and I've got some inflator gauges and all the stuff in there and all the bits for it. So that way I just throw it in there. It's all sealed in there so it doesn't get stuff in the filter of it. Take it out, go throw it up on the bull bar, turn it on, and we're all sweet. And this side of the canopy is the storage side and on my 12 volt. So I'll have to move the camera closer, but on this end, got on my 12 volt. In the middle we got all the random bits like the toolboxes and recovery gear and the stove, chair, and this side's my fridge, so I'll get you a closer look. Right, so in the canopy of our 12 volt setup, we've got a King's battery box, which has got a Century 105 amp hour deep cycle in it. Battery box is just something that's sitting at home. I will actually upgrade this eventually, but it was more of a, let's get it together so I can throw the fridge and go away for the weekend. And up here we've got a projected 25 amp DC-DC charger. It's not a lithium compatible one, but eventually when I get a lithium battery, I'll need to get a new DC-DC. So that does obviously solar and alternator. So that wires in through. Here's our solar cable from the 160 watt panel on the roof, and these are the alternator cables. So these actually all connect into here. Then I've got these cables in here which run to the battery, which this one here is the the DC-DC charger, and this one here is actually to the control box, so that controls everything. This is the June one. It's actually fairly good for the price. I think I got it for $130. So it's got 2 Andersons, it's got 4 USBs, 3 SIG sockets and 6 switches and the volt meter. So at the moment, I've only got 2 of the switches in use. One of them does the lights up here and the other one does the lights on the other side of the canopy. At the moment, I don't have any use for these because I don't have any extra lights to use. It's got the fuse box all the way up the top there, and this Anderson here has got an extension cable which is run to the Dometic 45 litre over here. It's technically a Waco, it's in between both of them. I do have a 95 litre dual zone fridge, which is also a Waco CFX 95, but I haven't got it in use at the moment because I don't need such a big fridge if I'm not going anywhere. But eventually when I do a longer trip soon, it'll be thrown in instead. And then we've also got up here famous quad lock mount, which is always great because this is a spare one that I had in the Prado. So I got it because that way, throw it up here, charge your phones and you're all sweet. So on the driver's side of the canopy, I've actually got all my drawers that I had in the Prado. So we've got 3 XTM drawers. That one's a fridge slide drawer, and those 2 are normal drawers, which I'll get a closer up on them and show you in a sec. And they've also got the toolbox under there with all the brand stickers that I've been collecting, and they're all over the drawers as well. In there is just all my ratchet straps and ropes and stuff, just, you know, little bits of things that isn't really sorted and it'll never be sorted. But yeah, we'll get you a close up of the canopy. So as I said, I've got the 3 different drawers. One of the over on the left here is all my camping items. So that's got shovel, first aid kits, the leashes for the max tracks, some pegs and stuff. In here is all my tools. So go in here, we got a whole bag of 12 volt stuff. So that's everything I could repair a whole 12 volt setup on away. I got a tire repair kit down there with some more pegs behind. King Chrome socket set, which is actually from the King Chrome advent calendar. You know, some spanners, a drill, whatnot. And then this drawer on the very right is the food drawer. It has the stainless steel drawer table over the top, which I'll give you a look of what that does in a moment. But yeah, it's just the food drawer. So this here is the stainless steel table that comes with them. It doesn't really work as a table due to the height of the canopy compared to the Prado, whereas in the Prado the drawers were pretty much sitting where the toolbox is, so you can imagine the table sitting right here, perfect height to throw some things on. Here it's more of a bench or an armrest, not necessarily a table, but yeah, I've kept it because I had it. There was no point to throw it out. So before we get to the stuff in the interior of the car, I just want to say a quick little thing about the canopies. If you don't actually know too much about mid-saddle canopies, they're really handy in terms of customization for yourself. So as you can see here, all along the back wall, I've actually got these channels here. So Mid-Saddle supply these little unistrut channel nuts that fit an M8 bolt with a 13mm socket, and you pretty much pop them in, twist them, and that's how these are mounted. So you can actually see in here, that little spring is the channel nut that they come with. So what that does is you can mount, you know, you probably even mount your max tracks to the back. You've got them on the roof so you can mount shelves and stuff. They do drop down shelves, which I'm yet to buy and I might eventually get one. And then up the back here, they've actually got the 12 volt wall, which I should have explained when I did the 12 volt stuff. That's a wall that's actually separate to the canopy wall. As you can see, you can actually unbolt it, do your whole 12 volt setup, and then bolt it back in, and that way you can make it all flush, run all the cables behind, which, as I said, eventually I'm going to redo my 12 volt setup. I'll probably do that then, take it all off, mount everything flush, hide all the cables and stuff, so we don't have messes like that sitting around. But yeah, really good canopy. Also on the canopy floor, you can't really see it, but there are channels along the floor, which is how I got the drawers mounted. That's how I got the tie downs for the fridge mounted, tie down for the battery box and stuff. So yeah, they're actually really customizable. It's also the same channels that are underneath the tray for where the trundle tray goes. But yeah. Another thing about the lift in the car as well, when I bought the car I had a Pro 4x4 50mm lift because the previous owner was in Queensland and that's where they are, up in Queensland. So I've still got the shocks in the rear and then the front springs and shocks, which are still Pro 4x4. However, when I got the car, the rear springs were a bit saggy, so I put some new Fulcrum suspension Formula 4x4 springs in there with 500 kilo constant rating, due to the fact that the whole canopy weighs about 200 something kilos. I put all my drawers in, I've put the solar panel on, the awning, and I've obviously got the wheel on the back and all batteries and fridge and stuff. By the time I load it up with smaller springs, it's not, you know, going to be sitting level. So it sits at a pretty clear height with the 500 kilo constants, but yeah, you wouldn't really want much less with a setup like that. So I haven't actually got much done in the interior. It's obviously just pretty standard PX2 Ranger. I've still got my seat covers that I had in the Prado, which are just some Ridge Rider neoprene ones, so they're kind of like a wetsuit material. Over there though, I've got a great little piece of canvas. I'll show you from the other side. So this piece of canvas, it's actually from Drifter Stockton, which you've probably heard of the brand plenty. They make some great canvas products. They're all about it. They're Australian made, all well. So this is actually their 6-pocket seat organizer. It used to fit well in the Prado because there's a bit more of a gap between the front and back seats because it was a wagon. It had a bit more cab space, but it's still, you know, pretty good. Pockets everywhere. One pocket, you know, I've got some bug spray and stuff here. I've got some painkillers and a radio. In here I've got my torches. In here I've got all the chargers for the handhelds. I've got more handhelds. I think this one's got stubbies and some spare sunnies. There's also got my jump starter and my multimeter and maps and stuff in there because they've got a big pocket here which is really deep, so that's got all the bigger things in it, and then the smaller pockets have got everything else in them. If you're looking for one, I think they were $110 for both the 4 or the 6 pocket. They're a really good little thing. Should get one. For the interior of the car, our radio, we're not running GME to match with the GME aerial due to the fact that the aerial I had in the last car, and it had a radio in the car, but the radio was only an old 40 channel GME, so I've opted for a new one instead of keeping that one. So this is a Uniden UH60, 9060 I think it is. So it's obviously standard 80 channel radio. It's got the replay function for minute replay. I haven't actually used that yet because I haven't gotten the chance to actually go out with my mates and use the radio yet. Up here we're also running a quad lock wireless charger, which, you know, as I said before, quad locks are a great little mount. Definitely get one if you've got a car, and even better if you get the mag mount. You mount your phone to your car and hope you don't forget about it. We've also got a Chevron dash mat, which is just standard dash mat, just came with the car. And then these are the Ridge Rider neoprene seat covers, so they fit well because they're just a multi-fit seat cover. But yeah, they're pretty good. So that's the car tour. That's the car that I'll be using on the videos. There's definitely more to come. Eventually could be a rooftop. There might be a drop down shelf, as I mentioned. Mitts only make those. 12 volts going to be redone. I'll be making videos about all of them that I do. So, you know, subscribe and stay tuned for more.